Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros. And today we're going to be looking at a pre-workout called Nuclear Pump by Peak Performance Labs, and it is of course a non-stim pump formula. And we have actually reviewed every previous version of this product right back from when it first started. God, it must be back in sort of like 2019 if memory serves. But in any case, it's come on leaps and bounds. Every time they've released it, it's gotten better and better. And not just this product, but all the products by Peak Performance Labs. So goes without saying, we have high expectations for this one, as we cover the usuals, the taste, the price, the label, and the real world effects, all coming at you. And if you're new here, please do hit the like button, please hit the sub button, please hit the bell icon. So we drop about 3 reviews a week, but let's get into this one. Okay, we're into that first segment, Taste and Mixability, and we've got the pleasure of trying out Sour Orange Mango. Also comes in Rainbow Candy, which we probably would have gone for, as we are candy fans when it concerns the flavouring. Mango, Orange Mango, bit hit and miss with us. You know, we've had some horrible ones, we've had some nice ones, but yeah, let's see how it goes in this formula. Obviously, I've bunged it in, it is quite a hefty scoop size, so there are some bits settled at the bottom, but pretty typical for pump formulas to look like that. It's nothing dramatic, it normally just goes as you drink. And it is a stacked formula, you know, even where pump formulas are concerned, which we'll get onto that shortly. Do not stress. Let's see how it tastes though. Yeah, it's really nice, this one. There is that sour element to it. It's very potent tasting, very forthcoming, very pleasant. I'm not getting any nastiness on the back end, no chemical undertones or earthiness or grossness, nothing like that. It is a little bit chalky, which we'll obviously come to know the reason why when we get into the label, but flavour itself really, really good. I'm definitely getting the orange and the mango sour notes coming through. I'll have one more sip, then I'll give you a score. Do you know what? I weren't expecting to like this one as much as I do in occasions I've used it, so I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, which is definitely good as our ratings go for orange mangoes, because like I say, we've had some bad experiences over the years, but a really, really good one in this case. Price you want to know, price I will tell. So obviously we're in the UK and they do have a UK site, so we'll be running it off that for the sake of this review. But obviously if you are elsewhere, then just have a look on their normal website. UK guys, you'll head over to the official UK Peak Performance website shown down below, where you can use code ReviewBros10. Gonna knock off 10% off this product. You can pick it up for £33.29 or £1.66 per the serving. Now it is a 40-20 serving container, and normally we're a bit like, well, it's a bit cheeky with some brands, but because this one is so stacked, you genuinely, in a lot of scenarios, wouldn't need to do the 2 scoops, i.e. the 20 servings. You could easily get away with getting the 40 servings out of this. So have a play around with it if you do get it, and work out what dosages are perfect for you. But we always run it on maximum servings for consistency's sake, and when you do that, on our consistent price scale, where a 5 out of 10 is considered to be a bang average price pre-workout on the market, this comes in at a 5 out of 10. So it's coming in at a perfectly average, typical price point. So now, are we going to be getting a better than average pre-workout or a less than average pre-workout? And then we'll work out if it's worth that price point. Let's move into label first though. Okay, let's delve into this label then, and there have been a few modest improvements since the last version from having a quick glance over and comparison myself. It seems to be around the same serving amount, but they've just dropped a few lesser important ingredients and pulled in some more interesting ones and up some doses, you know, little things like that. So let's get into it. So we've got ourselves, like I say, 24 gram serving amount at that maximum dose. First up, we have got a juicy amount of L-citrulline at 8 grams, and you don't necessarily need much more than that, to be honest with you guys. At 8 grams, you're going to be getting pretty much most, if not all, the benefit you're going to be getting out of L-citrulline. Most people are okay with 4 to 6 grams, so to be getting 8 is rather crazy. It is pure L-citrulline, and it is another amino acid that's responsible for bumping up nitric oxide levels, increasing blood flow, pump, nutrient delivery. It obviously makes sense to see it in a pump formula, and we've got it here. So let's move down to glycerol powder at 4 grams, 65% stable glycerol powder. So it's we're not going to be experiencing any clumping issues, at least we haven't so far, and we hope that we don't down the line. So that's a good start, because sometimes, you know, you might be new to pre-workouts, that ingredient can cause clumping. but so far, so good. The reason it causes clumping, however, is because it pulls water into the muscle cell, swelling you out with hyperhydration, giving you that Michelin man look, and of course that's going to lead to improved hydration, and it's going to lead to improved endurance and performance in the gym. So love to see that. Then we've got betaine and hydrous at 3 grams, which is a juicy dose. Normally you see 2 to 2.5 grams, so above and beyond again. You see what I'm getting at here where I say you don't necessarily need to do the full 2 scoops. Jack of all trades ingredient again, in that it helps with pumps, power, hydration, and even some nootropic aid. Then we move down to L-tyrosine at 3 grams, again a whopping dose. Normally only see about 1 gram, maybe 1500 milligrams if you're lucky. So they've gone, do you know what, have yourself 3 grams. Another amino acid that's going to help with your mood and concentration. Then we move down to taurine at 1500 milligrams, which is probably still, well it is, yeah, normally only see about 1 gram of taurine. So again, we're going above and beyond here. Jack of all trades amino, it's going to help with your natural energy reduction, your cognition and your hydration and pumps. Then we move down to CDP choline, citicholine at 8 gram. A mega dose, guys. I can't, off the top of my head, I'm not sure I've ever seen citicholine dosed at 1 gram before. I could be wrong, but if I have seen it before, it's extremely rare. So we've got a mega dose once again here. That's again going to help with your focus and concentration and your performance in the gym, because as you might know, choline levels are depleted heavily when you're training at the gym. So we'll get a nice top up in advance here. Then we've got Red Night, which is a trademark version of beetroot extract powder at 800 milligrams, another nice dose there. That's got nitrates in it, so obviously that's going to be an instantaneous hit of improved nitric oxide in your body, increasing that blood flow, nutrient delivery, pump. Then we move down to Himalayan pink sea salt at 500 milligrams, another really nice dose. Normally you only see a couple 100 milligrams. I think a lot of companies are scared to put this in at too high of a dose because they don't want to affect the taste. However, in this scenario, it tasted good anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's nice to see 0.5 gram of salt in here, because obviously that's going to help with your hydration and pumps and your contractions. Then we move down to a Mento Pump, another trademarked ingredient of 300 milligrams, another maxed out dose right there. Jack of all trades ingredient. Again, it has various different benefits, but the main one we're going to be looking at here is obviously the pump element, where it's been shown to increase blood flow and pump. Then we move down to epicatechin, 300 milligrams. Another really, really nice dose. That does actually have muscle building benefits if you take it every day for a prolonged period of time. It's been shown to increase your recovery and strength and power and things like that. But it also increases, or has been shown to increase, nitric oxide production, and that's obviously why it's in here in this scenario. Then we've got pine bark extract, 250 milligrams, another nice ingredient that's going to help with your free radicals, so it's going to help with inflammation, and in doing so it's also going to help with your blood flow and pumps. Then we move down to bioperine at 5 milligrams, which is a nice dose. You know, you can sometimes see 10 milligrams or even more, but 5 milligrams is pretty much the norm. That's going to help with the uptake and utilization of all of these ingredients in this label. So it is a very, very stacked ingredients panel there, but of course it's going to depend how it comes together in the real world. So we shall be back and we'll let you know. Okay, let's talk real world effects with nuclear pump in the several times I've used it. Let's start off at the beginning, and sometimes you do see beta-alanine in non-stim pre-workouts, and companies do that to give you an illusion of something kicking in. We're generally a fan of it, because if you take a non-stim, then there's not much to go by in terms of like you knowing that it's kicking in as such. So it's nice to have that beta-alanine there as a placebo effect, but it's also nice to have options without beta-alanine. Quite obviously this one does not have it. So if you're in the market for a non-stim pump formula that doesn't have beta-alanine, worth looking at this one, right? So beta-alanine, love it or hate it, whether you like it or not, it's not in this product. So if you're someone that really, really loves it, you can buy a standalone beta-alanine and just add it to your pre-workout if you really want to. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on to the main meat and potatoes of this effect section and why we're here. Let's face it, it's in the name, the pump. Is it better than the previous version? It's difficult to know. I think it's been a couple of years now since we reviewed the previous formula. All I can tell you is the pumps definitely haven't gotten worse. They may have gotten better, but you really are plucking at straws when it comes down to that sort of thing, because there's so many variables that go into getting a pump, and obviously you can only sort of tell the details to a certain extent, can't you? You can't be like, oh yeah, my bicep was 1 millimeter bigger on this product versus the pump on the last one. It's just impossible to know. All I can tell you is the pumps are ridiculously nasty. And how can they not be? I mean, guys, we've been through the label. They're hitting every pathway you could possibly want. They're looking at hyperhydration. They're looking at vasodilation. They're looking at fighting inflammation. They're looking at prolonging the pump.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
All of those all come together to form an infinity gauntlet that wallops you around the face and gives you probably some of the sickest pumps I've had in recent memory, guys. And a good metric I always go by to judge how juicy a pump formula is just how quickly you get pumped in the gym. And it was no different in this scenario. A few sets of lat raises. I'd only just been in the gym maybe 10 minutes and I was pumped beyond belief. Like to the point where you sort of feel encumbered. You're like, oh God. You know what I'm talking about, guys. So you get pumped ridiculously quick on it. You get more pumped after that point, and then you remain pumped for at least an hour after your gym session. So my question to you is, what more could you possibly want from a non-stim pump formula without it making the, boiling the kettle or making you a cup of tea? I mean, it does everything except that pretty much, let's face it. So I do think this is one of the best ones you could possibly get your hands on. It's sitting right up the top there. Top tier pump formula. There's no holes in the label. There's nothing that I would change about it. I've got no critique to it whatsoever. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, they've got better with every iteration and they somehow have raised the bar again here, at least from what I can tell. Like I said, it's been a while since we used the last one, but the pumps were nasty enough for me to be blown away with this one again. So that's a good marker to know that they're not mucking around, isn't it? So yeah, guys, like I said, there's no negatives. You get the nice juicy vascular pump, you get the nice filled out Michelin Man hyperhydration style pump. You feel strong, you feel powerful, you feel healthy. Obviously there's no negatives that come with it because there's no stimulants involved. So yeah, I really do think that if you're in the market for something like this, you struggle to do any better, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that is because it also is an absolute steal at that price point. Remember, it come in at a 5 out of 10 on our price scale, which is what most general typical priced pre-workouts are at. And most average pre-workouts priced around that point are, you do get some good ones, but generally speaking, they're not so good, hence why they're priced at that amount. So I think that they've done an extremely good job here keeping the cost down. Obviously our discount code there does help, but I think you're getting a much better than average pre-workout for a 5 out of 10 price point, for an average price point. So honestly, I wouldn't even sniff it if this come in at like a 3 out of 10 on the price scale, like priced a chunk more expensive than an average, because that's how good it is. It really is a premium pump formula and it delivers as such. So it does get our stamp of approval. We would say buy it immediately if you're in the market for something like this. Don't avoid it, don't shortlist it, go ahead and buy it. Like I said, if you're in the UK, they have a UK website. If you're outside of the UK, they have a generic one that does shipping in Canada and America and overseas. So take a look at that one. Our discount works there as well. Yeah, they've done it again. Really, really enjoy Peak Performance Labs products. They've not done a bad one yet. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Have you used it? Do you want to use it? Have you used any of their other products? We think they're all great. But as always, stay